So, you've become disabled. Now what? Is your life over? Is it time to just give up? Is it time to say goodbye to all your hopes and dreams and realize that you'll never achieve anything and everything is done and it's time to just give in to despair and dissolution? No to all those things, but I would understand why you would think that. I understand because this is what I look like now. And this is what I looked like 14 years ago. Yeah, the chair wasn't always a part of the picture. I live with acquired disability, which means I acquired my disability after birth, during my life, through illness or accident or trauma. The other side of things is congenital disability, which is a disability or impairment that you were born with. I live with those too, but the physical disability is acquired. I developed that throughout my life, and it's its own kind of beast, even in the disability community, which it's a weird community. It's not something that you would ever choose to be a part of. It's not like they look like they're having a whole lot of fun. I think I'll jump in with them. It's a community that you are a part of out of necessity and not generally by choice. But even in the disability community, acquired disability is a very unique experience. It has its own forms of guilt and grief and pain and confusion, because you're coming into it after living an entirely different life. You lived an entirely separate life before becoming a part of the disability community. Whereas people with congenital disabilities, that is the community that they've known throughout their entire lives. Their parents might have had to join the disability community, and they experienced the shock. They experienced the grief. They experienced the realization that things were not going to be how they thought they were going to be. So let's talk about how you can be really pissed off and angry and disappointed and grief-stricken when you realize you're disabled, and that's okay. You don't need to be inspirational. Not just yet. People will expect you to be inspirational. They will. But just give yourself some time to be really, really pissed off first. When you just live in your life, you just live in your damn life and you're making your damn plans, you don't expect that in a day or two, in a week or two, in a month or two, everything will be turned on its head. Nobody expects that. And we like to think that we have control over that. So, if you develop an acquired disability, you will have people blaming you. Well, that might have happened to me, but I made sure it didn't. I made sure I made the right choices. I made sure I ate the right things. I made sure I did the right exercises to avoid becoming disabled. You know what? If that was the answer, disability wouldn't exist. Good for you. Good for la-di-da you that you didn't become disabled. That's great, but I am disabled. And it wasn't my fault, and it wasn't because of something I ate or what I did or didn't do. Sometimes it's just bad luck. Sometimes it really is just bad luck. You are going to have to deal with people blaming you. And it's not your fault. Unless you chopped your own legs off, it's not your fault. Even if you did chop your own legs off, I'm pretty sure somebody drove you to it. It's not your fault. Let's look at reevaluating your potential. I thought, this is going to sound kind of funny considering what I look like now, I thought that I was going to do dancing. Now I'm getting into music and I'm also going deaf, so it's like I'm not really good at picking career choices, am I? But I thought I was going to do dancing. I had always wanted to do dancing. And I hadn't really had the opportunity. And when I was a teenager, I started to get into jazz ballet. Don't start jazz ballet when you're 17. Your limbs are already sort of locked and loaded into their positions. Also, I had undiagnosed fibromyalgia. So my muscles did not like it. But I loved it. I really enjoyed it. And then when I moved to university at 18 and 19, I started doing salsa dancing. And holy dooly, I was good at it. I was a natural. I was really good at this. I couldn't afford lessons, so I just danced with as many people as I could. And I ended up helping one of the teachers with their lessons. I was sort of the practice doll. And a friend of mine who I was dancing with, we were like, you know what? You know those like job retreats, those like corporate retreats? We could dance at those and then provide lessons. This would be really cool. And I thought that I was going to do dancing. I really thought I would. I thought I would be a museum curator by day and a dancer by night. And then slowly my body got slower and dancing became harder and harder. I am going to be filming a video about my disability and how I got this way. I'm going to link it here. I'll post it before this one to explain what exactly my disabilities are. But essentially, it's chronic illness. Chronic illness shouldn't hit you this hard, but oh boy, it somehow did. And people around me didn't expect it to hit this hard. So when I was getting more and more chronically ill, everyone was like, it's okay, it'll stop. Spoiler alert, it didn't. And even though it hit me slowly, it did feel like a shock when I was suddenly in a wheelchair at 22. Too sick to go to university, too sick to dance, too sick to hang out with friends, too sick to read and write. And I thought, what the fuck do I do with my life now? Every plan I had has to go out the toilet, down the toilet, down the toilet, out the window, out the toilet, down the window. I can't have anything that I had before now. A lot of the friends that I danced with, they kept contacting me to invite me to dance parties. And I wouldn't answer. So they stopped messaging me. I didn't have the same friends anymore. I didn't seem to have anything anymore. What do you do when you lose your whole life, but you're still alive to see it? You're still alive to see the life that you have lost. What do you do? My answer was to sleep in a dark room and just not do anything for years. To get bitter. To not see it out and to just wait to die, to hope that I was going to die. Because if I couldn't have the life that I had before, I might as well be dead. I didn't want anything else. That was the life I'd been aiming for my whole life. I moved back to my hometown. I'd been dreaming of leaving there. And now I was back. What the hell is going on here? And then I realized I am still alive, whether I like it or not. So what can I do while I'm here? Maybe I should just live in spite. Maybe I'll just let spite power me. I actually started a YouTube then. A YouTube. I talk like my mother. I watched your YouTube the other day. I started a YouTube channel because I was so angry at support work, to be honest. I had to start receiving support work because I couldn't bathe myself or dress myself. And I was angry. And I thought, if I don't have a lot of joy, if I don't have a lot of hope, what do I have right now? I have anger, so I'll use that. So I used my anger. And I advocated. And then I got passionate. And passion turned to music. If you think you've lost everything but you're still alive, that means you've still got a heartbeat. And you'll find something else for that heart to beat for. If you told me when I was 22 and I just started using a wheelchair and I had lost so many friendships and so many opportunities and so many dreams, if you'd told me that at 36 I would be making YouTube videos making podcasts, singing to people, sharing a CD, selling a CD, living with an amazing partner and an amazing dog, having people in the street know my name because they know my work and they respect me for it. I probably would have punched you in the face because I would have thought you were mocking me. It's not over. It's not over till the fat lady sings, and when the fat lady sings, then it's still not over because you just get to listen to her singing. It's not over. You're disabled. Now what? You are resilient and you are creative. You can work something out. Before you were disabled, you worked out what your dreams were going to be. You worked out what your plans were going to be, and you worked that out based on what you had, based on the tools available to you, based on your interests, based on your goals. Now, your goals and your interests might have to shift. There's going to be a new normal. But you can do it. You have a new type of resilience. Things are going to have to change. You are going to have to earn and develop a thick skin because people are going to say things to you. People are going to say that it's your fault. People are going to say that they wouldn't have let that happen to them. People are going to ask you a million questions. The amount of times that I've been asked if I've tried fish oil. By the way, yes, I'm on like 5,000 milligrams a day. You are going to have to develop a different kind of strength, but you had strength before. The fact that you are grieving over a life you lost meant that you had the strength to build a life. You can do that again. There will be a fear. There will be a great fear that if you build a life again, what happens if you lose it again? If a life like yours can be lost once, what happens if it can be lost again? There can be a great difficulty in rebuilding a life once you know that a life can be swept away like a sandcastle, like a house of cards, just swept away in an instant. You lose a lot of faith in the things that people think are solid, and you realize they're ephemeral. But that gives you a completely different perspective on so many things that other people do not have and will not have unless they go through what you go through. You have a different kind of strength because of what you go through. And I know that that sounds like a platitude, but I swear I'm not bullshitting you. You've opened a third eye, baby. You see the world in a different way because you have to. And again, the disability community is not something that people join because it's fun. We join it because it's a necessity. It's part of who we are. And we need the resources of each other. We need to lean on each other. And sometimes the skills and the awareness that we gain from having a disability, it's not something that you would ever choose. But it can help you. Take the resilience. Take the strength. Build a new future. I think you can. I have. Also, I've clung to things that I used to do. I don't know, in the corner back there. These dolls, I used to sew when I was a kid. And when I lost the ability to use my legs very much, I thought, well, I can't dance, but I can sew. I will go back to that. I will go back to that thing that I used to love to do and that I can still do. And I sometimes lose the use of my pinky fingers and sometimes my ring fingers, but I can still sew with my crab claws. And I can't use a sewing machine, obviously, because of my legs. So I pour my love into doing that. Also, I don't know if you've noticed in this video, but sometimes my speech, it's been getting a little bit worse. Aphasia or whatever it is. So I sing more because I don't experience that aphasia and that word loss when I sing. find your strengths. You always have. And you will learn how to find them again. You'll learn how to find them in a different way, in a way that other people won't be able to appreciate, but you will. I believe in you. You're disabled. Now what? You keep going, baby. I'm sorry, but you keep going. You just gotta keep going. You grieve and you scream and you cry and you rejoice in the things that you have because you still have so much. I went to the beach the other weekend. I used a beach wheelchair for the first time. I felt the sand and the waves on my feet. I used to be a water baby. I will never swim freely in the ocean again. I will never have that. And I grieve that. But I can sit in a chair and have the sand and the waves on my feet. And I will rejoice in that. I will never dance like I used to, but I can feel music in my soul. But other people will also never have what I have. Other people will never see the truth of life like I have. They will never see how quickly it can be swept away, so they will never appreciate it like I do. You're disabled. Now what? You keep going. Thank you for being with me. I'll see you in the next one. Bless.